An ex-Barbadian government minister working on a deal with U.S. prosecutors in his money laundering case. And in sport, Barbados and Guyana remain unbeaten in the regional under-19 50 over championships. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Friday, August 24th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
It is quite possible and quite easy, in fact, for unscrupulous people to buy an election and buy and install a government.
I do believe that the role of the opposition is not absolutely clear to the public.
How could one political party allow themselves to be so outfoxed? I mean, not even one seat.
We as parties in opposition must ensure that the process of the election process is right.
And the question is, how do you win that middle group that seems to change from time to time and change government?
Opposition parties speak on Time to Face the Facts this Sunday, August 26, 8 p.m. on Caribvision and the Time to Face the Facts show Facebook page.
Former Barbados Government Minister Donville Innes, who's on corruption charges in the United States, has begun negotiations with federal prosecutors that could result in a reduced punishment. The revelation came as he pleaded not guilty to conspiracy and money laundering charges in a New York court yesterday. There were no details as to the nature of the negotiations, but Innes has waived his right to a speedy trial, which means the U.S. Justice Department can go beyond the 71-day window for the court case to be wrapped up. The former Minister of Commerce, Industry, International Business and Small Business Development is accused of taking about $36,000 US in bribes from high-level executives of the Insurance Corporation of Barbados in 2015 and 2016. U.S. prosecutors allege that Innes used his position as a government minister to help the insurance company secure 2 government contracts and that he concealed the nature of the bribes by receiving them through a dental company and a bank located in New York under the guise of payments for consulting services. If found guilty, Innes could spend up to 20 years in jail and could be fined up to $500,000 US. In Trinidad and Tobago now, disaster management units for the 14 municipal corporations have so far received more than 200 reports of major and minor structural damage to homes following Tuesday's 7.3 magnitude earthquake in neighboring Venezuela. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Kazem Hussein says the majority of reports are of minor structural damage, such as wall cracks, and corporations are making every effort to assist all affected families. The ministry says it continues to monitor the situation. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines government has suspended the importation of pesticides that contain the active ingredient glyphosate, which is found in a commonly used pesticides such as Roundup, Touchdown, and Glyphos. The government said in a statement today that in doing so it was acting on the advice of the Pesticides Board, which conducted a preliminary review and determined that further research is needed on the chemicals. In the interim, a special technical committee has been established to advise on sustainable alternatives to the listed chemicals. Now, that committee is expected to present its findings by October 1st. Meanwhile, the Caribbean Agriculture Research and Development Institute, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture have been asked to provide support to the Ministry of Agriculture to conduct a full chemical analysis of these products. The Ministry of Agriculture is also scheduled to launch a national sensitization program. Governor of the Bank of Jamaica, Brian Winter, has dismissed claims that the central bank is devaluing the Jamaican dollar as part of plans to increase the inflation rate. In September 2017, the government set a medium-term inflation target of 4.0 to 6.0% to be achieved and maintained by the bank from April 2018 onwards. but between April and June 2018, the 12-month rate fell below the lower 4.0% band. It is against this background that the Bank of Jamaica was required to explain the reasons for the deviation to the finance minister and nation and outline the actions being taken to rectify the anomaly. Now, Winter noted that what the BOJ is trying to achieve using monetary policy is lowering interest rates and making the cost of getting credit lower. The governor noted that the act of more borrowing leads to greater economic activity, which leads to growth and job creation. Now, while the BOJ projects that inflation for the September and December 2018 quarter will remain close to 3.5%, inflation will rise to the initial target's midpoint by June 2019 and should remain at that level over the medium term. Steve, thus, your Midday Sport is next. Frontrunners Barbados and Guyana maintained their unbeaten run in the regional under-1950 over championships, while Canada remained winless following the completion of the fourth round of action yesterday. Barbados and Guyana each notched their third consecutive victories. For Barbados, it was with a win over Canada, while Guyana beat Leeward Islands. After finishing second in the four-day competition, Barbados continued their push for the title with a comprehensive 8-wicket win over Canada. Canada could only muster 175 in 45.3 overs, with Barbados making light work of the target as they ended on 176 for 2 in 34.4 overs. Meantime, Guyana comfortably defeated the Leeward Islands by 114 runs to stay on track with Barbados and set up a key clash tomorrow. Now, after posting 215 for 8 in their 50 overs, they then restricted the Leeward Islands to 101. Guyana owed their eventual total to a 78-run sixth-wicket partnership between Javed Karim, who made 39, and Junior Sinclair, who got 36, that rescued them from the precarious position of 107 for 5. Kwamar Torrington and Joshua Jones then tore through the Leeward's top order to leave them with little chance of reaching their target. There was also a win for the Windward Islands, who coincidentally also won by 114 runs over Trinidad and Tobago. The Windwards posted the day's highest total of 219 and then rounded TNT for just 105. Nathaniel McDavid with 44 and Avinash Mahabir Singh, who scored 39, and Justin Gangu, who made 24, mounted a serious lower order fight back for the Windwards after they had slumped to 84 for 5. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.